Welcome, I'm AlocsaV, and in today's video I'm gonna talk about base defenses, how to craft them and how to set them up to defend your base against enemy attacks. You have two options. One of them you can actually craft in the small constructor, which is the sentry guns. So if you go to placeable on bases and items, weapons and items, you see I can craft sentry guns. So I had to unlock them, and I'm gonna open up the tech tree on F3. If you go to base, you scroll all the way down, you have to reach level 3 to unlock the sentry guns. And if you reach level 5, you can unlock the projectile turrets, which I'm gonna do right now. The sentry guns are basically good to attack ground troops and predators. Single entities, not ships. The projectile turrets though are what you need to actually defend against drone attacks. And for them, you actually need the large constructor. So if you go to the same tab, placeable on bases, weapons and items, you can craft the projectile turrets right here. So I'm gonna craft 3 of them here, and I'm gonna craft a couple of sentry guns. They're done, so I'm gonna pick them up. They're way too big for me to carry, so let's put in the sentry guns first. So let's just pick a few blocks, and you can put them against the wall. If you select the sentry guns, you have 4 options. If you right click, you have the standing one with some stands by themselves. You have the standing one, which is retractable. You have the sideways, which you can place on a wall, and you have the sideways, also retractable. All these 4 use up projectile rifle rounds. For the miniguns though, for the turrets, if you right click again, you actually have 2 different options. You have the cannon turret, which uses 30mm, or the minigun turret, which uses 15mm, and then you have the retractable option. I'm definitely going to use the minigun, and you can place them wherever you want against the base. You have to connect it to the base. As you can see, I can place it here, but there's a little trick. You don't actually have to put the blocks physically connected to the base. If you just press N while you're looking at the base, you can press this button, connect the base, and now I can actually put the blocks right here. They're still in the same grid as the base, they're connected to it, but they're not physically touching. So I'm gonna use this to actually do a few towers to put in the turrets. So I think here should be okay. So let's just do a simple tower. This is totally optional. If you want to, you can just put them on the roof of your base, on the floor, that's fine. I just like to put it like this because they have a certain range, and if they're a little bit higher up, they'll be able to detect the threats a little bit sooner. So now I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna select the minigun turrets. And I'm gonna do the same twice more. So my turrets are in. I'm also gonna put in the sentries. Unfortunately, I have half locks here, so if I put them on the wall, they're gonna be hanging. So I think I'm just gonna put them on the floor. That should be fine. This is more a ground troop defense, so the main line of defense, the first one, will be the turrets. So this is just as a last resort in case they're actually able to deploy the troops. So let's put another one here, should be fine. There you go. So I got the weapons out, they're set up. Now I'm gonna need an ammo box. The ammo box you can also craft in the small constructor. I'm gonna have to unlock it, so I'm gonna go to the tech tree on F3, go to base, and after the cargo box you can unlock the ammo box. This is what the weapons will actually access to find for ammo. So I'm gonna craft one and then just place it in the base. My ammo box is in, so I'm just gonna put it somewhere. There we go. And now I'm gonna craft ammo for it. The sentries, I can craft them both in the small constructor. The sentries take this projectile rifle round, and I'm gonna set the output for the ammo box so that the ammo goes straight into it. So let's do a little bit of this. And since I have 2 constructors, let's do the other one on the large one. If I have chosen cannon turrets, they would use this one. But since I placed in minigun turrets, they actually use 15mm. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna set up the ammo box as the output, and I'm gonna do some 15mm. While the ammo is being crafted, I'm gonna go to the P menu. I'm gonna go to devices, and I'm gonna auto group. Unfortunately, it sends the sentries and the miniguns to the same one, and I would like to control them in different groups so that I don't have to set them up individually. So I'm gonna create a new group. I'm gonna call it sentries, and I'm gonna send both sentries into that group. I'm gonna send add to group, and I'm gonna select sentries, because now I can actually control these options for the sentries as a group, and I don't have to do it individually. You have to select one of these. You also have to select one of these. These ones are only in case you're actually attacking a base or a ship which is not a drone. So for drones, it doesn't make much difference what you select on this last group here. But for the sentries, I'm gonna attack predators, and I'm gonna turn off play factions. Even though I'm not in multiplayer, I like to turn it off. And here, I could just leave it as it is because no capital vessel is gonna come here probably. But as a safety measure, I'm actually gonna turn it off, all of this, and just leave it as NPCs, because this means they will take the ground troops and the predators which are set up right there. So I'm gonna say apply to group. So now both sentries have the same settings. For the turrets, I'm gonna do it as a group 2, but I'm not gonna attack predators. That's basically the only difference that I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna set it this way. So now all the miniguns are set up for the same thing. You can also access them and change the position, even though they rotate by themselves once they detect threat from any direction, but you can reload them. And you can also shoot them. And you can do the same for the sentries. You can access them, reload them, and shoot them. So there you go. My defenses are set. If you go to the P menu again, you go to the statistics tab. In this case, I have it turned off, the base attacks, but once you have the setting turned on, it will say right here roughly when they're gonna come. It could be 3 days, it could be 5 days, it could be soon, whatever. So they'll give you kind of a warning when they come. When the strike is actually about to hit, you'll actually have a warning on top of the screen saying that the Xerax are going to attack your base. So that's how you set up defenses. A simple way which only take the basic resources: iron, copper, silicon, stone, and logs. And it's pretty simple to do, and you can actually go out and be sure that your base will be defended. Just be sure to have power, because without power they will not work. Thank you for watching, and until next time.